Hi everyone, I'm Becky.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are doing Bickering book reviews. Today we are talking about the love letters of Abelard.
Abelard.
Abelard and Lily by Laura Creedle. I never studied, but anyway.
I did.
You studied Dante?
No, I read the love letters between Abelard and Heloise.
Oh, really? See,
we totally studied that. I did that. Rock star. Hello, English major.
Never.
Yeah.
Psych major. We discussed how that made you feel.
Yeah.
And so anyway, this book is about Lily Michaels Ryan, who has ADHD, and Abelard Mitchell, who has Asperger's. When the two get sentenced to detention together, they form a connection which no one else understands. Can their feelings overcome any issues they may encounter? So this was a really interesting book because it's told from Lily's perspective, and I felt the narrative was really genuine towards somebody with ADHD. Like, it made sense. Like, her mind would go all over and the narrative would go all over, and you're kind of following her on this, like, great adventurous run. But you're like, oh yeah, I can see how her brain would work like that.
It made sense, but it wasn't disjointed, I think, which was helpful. And I think that kind of points back to the fact that Lily, even though she has kind of these challenges to overcome, she's still so intelligent. And I feel like in a lot of other portrayals of characters with challenges, they aren't seen as somebody who can also be intelligent. But I mean, she's reading things that I still haven't even read. And like, she's thinking things that I can't think. And so, I mean, she works really hard to be kind of who she is, and it's just like a very interesting, I think, perspective on how the world expects you to fit into, like, forcing square pegs into circular holes or whatever that whole thing is.
Well, and I thought it was interesting because there's like a lot. It's not a lot, but there is a part of the story about he can't have extra stimulus, but they want to physically be able to touch, and it was kind of interesting how they worked around that. And like, you don't see that. You don't see people with these issues having a romance. And like you were saying that these characters are smart. He is so smart. He understands things. He should already be in college, basically. The one downside of the book, and I don't want to say exactly what it was, but there's an issue with Lily, and they think that they have a solution. And I didn't like the solution, and I think it's just because I have a lot of people who are close to me with ADHD, but I can see, according to the author's note, this solution is possibly, like, available at some point. Like, it isn't now, but they're working on making this. I'm being really vague, but we really try not to give away spoilers. And I don't think it was anywhere in the description of the book, so I don't want to.
I think it speaks to kind of like a theme that you see in other books as far as trying to make characters who are considered outside the norm, trying to fit them into the real world, when really it's just about kind of the real world needs to kind of fit itself around everybody else because we're all different, we're not all the same, and it's, it challenged that notion by allowing these characters to have this very realistic relationship, very interesting relationship, but then kind of fell into that trap because of the potential solution. And
so that's why the ending didn't quite work for me. But I did love, like, they're emailing, or are they text messaging back and forth, the letters of, say it,
Abelard and Heloise.
Yes. And I loved that. I thought that was sweet. And it's
sweet.
It's so something you don't see in a YA book.
It was sweet. It was sweet. And what I really love, though, is just kind of the balance that she was able to strike between the two main characters. I mean, because Lily, since Lily has ADHD, she is a stimulus, whereas Abelard has Asperger's, so he kind of rejects this stimulus, and it's almost like this balance between the two is just fascinating. Whereas, like, Lily sees herself as constantly breaking things, and Abelard, she sees him as constantly fixing things. Like, I just really, like, was fascinated by the balance, and I loved it.
I enjoyed it.
I really liked it, and I think you're right. I think the solution was the only thing that really kind of didn't sit well with me, and I think that's why it didn't kind of go off into being the best book ever.
So we should just rate it.
Yeah.
So our rating scale is the classic unicorn to horse rating scale.
Classic.
We start at the top with 5 unicorns. We go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse because it's not sparkly or dance on rainbows or anything cool like that. I'm going to give the book, I'm giving it 4 unicorns. I liked it. It was different. I think that there are a lot of kids that can see themselves in this that don't get to see themselves in things.
See, and I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, so I'm going to give it 4 unicorns because even as we're talking about it, I mean, I still think it's a great book. I think that the only reason why it doesn't get 5 unicorns is because of the ending.
And I really liked the cover.
Yeah, the cover's pretty cool.
I would pick that book up off the cover, off the shelf based off the cover.
Yeah, I would too.
So, and that's where we are with the love letters of
Abelard
and Lily by Laura Creedle. Bye.